Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. We'll just wait for a couple more minutes and we'll get started. Good morning, Prakash. In the meanwhile, I have sent out a poll in our WhatsApp group. May I request all of you to kindly respond to the poll? I've sent out a poll on WhatsApp. May I request you to kindly respond to the poll? Okay, let's get started. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Let me share my screen. I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we'll do a quick recap of what we learned yesterday, and then we'll get into the next set of things. So yesterday we learned about what is Linux, what is the Linux prompt, what is Bash shell, what are the core components, and how to run certain commands. We also learned about this portal called GitHub, where all the source code is available mostly for open source software and also for non-open source software. And then we also understood how to log into this website called Killer Coda and how to execute our lab exercises. So can everybody confirm that you are able to log into Killer Coda and do the lab based on the tutorial that I shared? Can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, Venkat Ramana Reddy, thank you. How about the others? Chandra Prakash, good. Anand, good. Shaikh Srinavalli, good. Renu, good. Vishnu, great. How about others? Divya, Pawar Bhavya, Naveen Kumar, Gopi, Manikant. Okay, Satvika, you have done it. Good. Sushma, Mahesh, you guys are already working. Gopi, good. The names that I have taken. If you are working, then it's fine. That means you may already, know this. But if you are not working, I sincerely urge and request you to do the labs on a daily basis. See, now the labs are simple. As and when we get into, more advanced topics, you will not get so much time. Uh, okay, and that time practicing basic commands will become difficult, and you will be left behind. The class will move forward, you will be left behind. So I strongly urge and request each and everyone to kindly spend some time during the day, at least an hour, hour and a half after the class, to go through the recording, see if you have any doubts, and do the lab exercises diligently at the end of every class. It will help you to practice. Okay. All right. So we'll quickly get into some of the commands, and we will see how to use those commands. Many of you have already started using it in Killer Coda. That's good. Okay. Okay. So I will skip certain advanced commands now, and we'll do the more simpler commands, and then we'll get into advanced commands. Okay. So let us start doing these commands. Let me log into Killer Coda. So what kind of authentication is this called? Logging in through your social media account?
SAML.
Yes. And what is the full form of SAML? What is the full form of SAML? SAML.
Security Assertion Markup Language.
Security?
Assertion.
Okay, okay, fine. You can always do a wiki. Security assertion markup language. Okay, this is called SAML. SAML has various versions, 2.0, 3.0, and all. So depending upon what kind you want, you will use. Okay, so let's get into a playground of Ubuntu, and let's start learning certain commands. So any questions or doubts from what we have learned yesterday? Anything at all? Okay, fine. So the first command that we are going to learn today is who am I? Now, this is to identify basically that who is the current user who is logged into the prompt right now. Okay. And when I do the manual page, man page of this command called who am I will get, the complete information about it. So as you see, it tells that print the effective username. So which user has logged in? Now, how will we do this in Windows? So once you go to the start button and you try to press logout, you will be able to see the username through which you have logged in. Okay. So that's how you will do it in Windows. And here in Unix or Linux, it's a simple command. It says who am I? This who am I has got couple of versions. Okay, couple of options. Sorry. The one is to display the help, which is really pointless because we already have the man page for it. And then we have something called as a version. Now let us see what happens when we what happens when we type version along with this. Okay, so It clearly tells us what kind of a open source license it is using. Okay. Yesterday we have learnt about two kinds of licensing, right? One is copyleft licensing and another one is permissive licensing. So based on this information that you see here, okay, who can tell me what kind of an open source license is this? Is it a copyleft license or is it a permissive license? Is it a copyleft license or is it a permissive license in open source? Okay, so this is wherever you see this GNU GPL, okay, this GNU GPL stands, is a indication that it is a copyleft license. That means it will remain open source, okay? It is not going to be become proprietary. And as you can see, it's a free software and you are free to change and redistribute it. Now, let us suppose I want to understand the version of the operating system that is running here. Generally, this command should work ver. It's not working on this. Okay, no problem. Whenever you want to find any command, you can just type help and all the commands that are there in that particular shell. Okay, you remember what a shell is? Bash shell we are using, born again shell. Shell is the wrapper or is the module over and above your kernel of the operating system, which allows you to execute human readable commands, right? Like what we are doing right now. And the moment you type help, just this word help at the command prompt like this, it gives you the complete list of all the commands that are compatible or supported in that shell. Okay. And you can see all the commands here, like some of the commands we did yesterday, like ls, which is list. Then we did who am I. Then we did, some other commands. In the lab, there were more commands like make directory and all. So all those commands are part of this shell. Okay. So as and when we move forward in the class, we will be learning more about these commands. Another command to clear the screen, just simply type clear. Okay, CLEAR, clear. Okay, very simple. Whatever is there in the this one, it will clear the screen. Now, if you want to see the list of commands that was typed already in this shell, okay, you can just type this command called history. Okay, history command will tell you all the commands, right or wrong, whatever was typed on the prompt, this dollar prompt. Okay, so till now we typed about 10 different commands before we cleared, and all those are there here. Okay, now we'll get into a little more things. So if you want to just paste a word onto the screen, okay, the command is called as echo. So whenever we go near a cave or to the hills, we shout a big loudly. What we hear back is called echo. So if you want to print back something on the screen, the simple command is echo. So whatever you write within quotes of echo, it will get printed like this, right? But here is where I will introduce a concept called a variable. Now you must have used these variables when you're writing programming languages, right? So you can say dollar name equals something like this. Okay. Why variables is not working? Yes. 1 second. We'll do all these. Mm, There are a lot of commands that are not working in this shell. So in a couple of days, we will install this Proxmox. Okay. And in Proxmox, we will get everything. Okay, no issues. We'll do one thing. We will just simply follow the tutorial. Sorry, not the tutorial, the handbook, and we will go by all the commands that are listed there. Okay. All right. So if you want to see the current date, it shows like this. Now, how to decipher this? So this is the day of the week. This is the month. This is the day of the month. This is the exact time till seconds. And this is the time zone and this is the year. Okay. Now, it is very important this date. Don't think that, oh, we have calendars. So, why should we may give importance to such a thing called date? Well, everything in Unix or Linux, or for that matter, everything in computers will get associated with a timestamp. Okay. Yesterday we had seen that whenever we do listing of all the files and directories, you will see that a timestamp is associated with the creation and modification of each and every file and directory like this. Okay. And if this system date or time is not correct, okay, if the system date or time is not correct, then all the information that gets associated with that particular file or directory will have a wrong timestamp associated to it. Okay. And this has a snowball effect. Okay. Or an avalanche effect. What does that mean? Which means every other application or process that is running on this operating system. Okay. For example, you may want to do backup of your data. So when that backup software is reading from this machine, it will read the wrong timestamps. Okay. Because the system time would be wrong. Okay. So don't think that this date command is useless. It is a very important command, and we need to have the right date always reflecting on the system. Okay. Now, this is a important concept. You have to understand one thing here. How does the system maintain time? Can anybody tell me how computer systems maintain time even if they are powered off?
Using CMOS.
Yes. Who was that?
Venkatramana.
Venkatramana. Very good. Yes. So there is something called as a CMOS battery, okay, in the system. So what is a CMOS battery? Or first of all, what is CMOS? So it it basically keeps a small memory. Okay. So CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Okay. Now this CMOS can hold a volt or a charge, as you can see here. Many of you do have done electrical engineering. Okay, you would understand the meaning of this circuit, right? So if the circuit is closed at one end, that's a different charge. If it is closed at the other end, it is a different charge. Okay. So what effectively happens is, even if the system is powered off, there is a battery within the motherboard, okay, called a CMOS battery. Okay, even a laptop will have it, even our phones will have it. Okay, almost every system will have it. Okay, so what this battery does is, even if everything is powered on, it just keeps the clock on. Okay, the CMOS clock on. That's all it does, right? Now, tell me one thing, since this is a battery, obviously it will get discharged over a period of time, correct? Now, if the CMOS battery is weak and it is slowing down, what is going to happen? What will be the effect on a system like this? When the battery, CMOS battery, which maintains the clock of the system, is running out of this one power, okay? And it starts slowing down. So what is the effect it will have on the system?
The system performance decreases. Slow down
Performance?
the slow down the
No,
voltage.
no. It has no impact on performance. It has no impact on performance. What happens is simply this date and time will be slow. What happens if the battery of your clock starts dying? What will happen? Whatever is the actual time, your clock will start showing a time in the past, isn't it? It will become slow. Exactly the same thing will happen here also. Okay. If the CMOS battery gets weaker and the system was not powered on for many, many days, okay, then the system's time or clock, okay, will get into a delay mode, and there will be a lot of difference between what is the current and actual time versus what is the time the system is showing once it gets powered on. Okay, and that will be a problem because suppose this system is running a different software which is required by one application, and other systems are running other softwares, their time stamp of their files and all will show a different time, whereas this particular system whose CMOS battery is dying down, that will show a different time. Okay, then what can be done to avoid such discrepancies of time between multiple systems in the data center? Okay, is there a possibility that all the systems together can be synced up, okay, with a common time reference, okay, which is acceptable by the entire company as well as by the entire world, okay, because a lot of systems are connected to internet also. So having your clocks synced with world time is also extremely important. So how does that happen? Now, if you see my system here, it shows Thursday, 8th May, 8:56 a.m., right? And this is the clock. It is synced, perfectly synced. Now, what can we do inside a data center to have the clocks of multiple systems sync with a common time? So that is where we introduce a new concept called NTP. Okay, NTP stands for Network Time Protocol. Okay, Network Time Protocol. Just this protocol is just to maintain the standard time across machines. Okay, so that you don't have different machines having different time, showing up, right? So network time protocol is used. Okay, and how does this work? There are two ways in which this works. Okay, one is getting connected to the internet, and second one is having something called as a NTP server inside a data center. Okay, if it is getting connected to the internet, then whatever time internet is showing, that time will be reflected on your machine. Okay, now You can do that in Windows and in Mac also. So for example, in my system, if I have to set date and time, okay, you can see here there is an option called set time and date automatically, and it is set on. Okay. And what is the source? The source is showing as time.apple.com. I can actually click on this set button, and it will actually allow me to enter something called as a time server. Can you see this time server? So this time server is nothing but this NTP server that I am talking about. Okay. So which server should this system, in this case my laptop, use to sync the time? And here in this case it is taking directly from Apple. So like this, there are many time servers available on the internet. You can sync your system's time with an internet based time server. Okay. But what if your data center is not connected to the internet? It is possible. Okay. It is possible that your data center is not connected to the internet. Then what you will do? You will have to set up something called as a NTP server inside your network. Okay. NTP server. So that NTP server, I'll explain with the help of this diagram. Okay, so what this block on the top that you see here, this is like your internet time servers. Okay, but if your data center is not connected to internet, for example, you're running a defense establishment. Okay, and there are many defense data centers which are not connected to the internet, right? So what will they do? For them, you have to start from this block one or step one here, right? So you will set up something called as NTP servers. So, which means the role of those servers in the data center is only one thing, which is to maintain and synchronize time across multiple systems inside the data center. And whatever is the IP address of that particular server, okay, that IP address is what you will give in all the other machines in the data center. Okay, so that is how, if you are connected to internet, you will do time sync. If you are not connected to internet, you will do time sync. Okay, but time sync is very important. And when we want to change the time, okay, this is the date command, which not only displays the time but also helps you to change it. Okay, if you want to set the time, you can do that. And these are all the various variables and options that are available in order to set the time zone and things like that. Okay. Any question on this? What is NTP? What is CMOS battery? What is date and time? Very simple. Okay. Okay. Next. So these are the various options. So in the lab, you will find certain, exercises which allow you to change system time. Okay. But be careful. Next is this command called password. Okay. As the name suggests, it is basically used to set a new password. Okay. So the simple command here is passwd password. Okay. It will ask you to enter a new password. Very simple. So right now I'm not entering anything, but it allows you to do this. Okay. So You enter the password once, then it asks you to retype the new password, just how you do it in other systems, and this new password will be set. So I'm just put, okay. Now, we all know that setting up passwords is very, very important. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. So I didn't set the password because it's a virtual machine. Now, where is this password stored? Okay. If you see here, there is a file called etc password. Okay, slash etc slash password. So let us go into this file. Let us see what happens. So what is the command to see where am I in which directory? pwd.
PWD.
Okay. Yeah, present working directory. And what is the command to change the directory? So you give the path cd, change directory, cd. You must have done in your lab yesterday. Okay. And once you get in, what is the command to list all the files? So it is ls minus al. Okay. And once you do that ls command, you will see all the files and directories, subdirectories and links in this particular folder called slash etc. Now, as we have seen earlier, the etc contains all configuration files and all. Okay. Now, the command that is used to display the content of a file, okay, is called cat. Cat means concatenate. Concatenate is called cat. So you can just give the path of the file, okay, to display its content, and you will be able to see it. The system is slow. Okay. So do you see this? When I said cat slash etc slash password, there are so many different information that is coming in. Okay. So basically, these are all the various passwords that are already stored inside. Okay. But in an encrypted format. Okay. So do you see any plain text format here? No. Okay. So this X you see here, X is printed. So this X is that encrypted password, and it also shows that this particular password is being used by which program. Okay. And as you can see here, it gives you the path of the program slash user slash sbin slash no login. Okay. Or slash bin sync. So these programs are using a certain password, and that password is stored in an encrypted format in this particular file called slash etc slash paswd. So whenever we are logging into a Unix system, what happens is the system will cross verify the password from within this file. Okay. And it will understand whether the user is typing the correct password or not, and it will understand whether to allow the user to enter into the system or not. Okay. So very simple. And we already seen what is the command to change password. This is the command to change password. Okay. Just type passwd, simple. Okay. Any questions? And we already seen this also. Cat. Cat means to concatenate or to display. Okay. And it is going to show you the complete list of all the content in that particular file. Now, this cat command can also be used to modify a file or to join multiple files. Okay. So how to do that? And this cat command can also be used to create a file. Okay, though it is a very simple one. So let us try this. Okay. So if now let me go back to, what is the command to go back to the previous directory? Can anybody tell me? So
Dot dot.
dot dot, yes. Dot means current directory, dot dot means previous directory. So say cd and dot dot, you will go back to previous directory, and you can see that earlier I was in this directory slash etc. Now I am in this directory root. Okay. And again, I enter pwd password. I understand which directory I am in. Okay. So in this root directory, let me make a new directory for myself. What is the command to make a new directory? Make directory,
Okay.
mkdir. You
KD.
must have, yeah, you must have done it in your lab, right? So I'll make a directory called training. Okay. Now, how do I know this directory was created? Sorry. So we see it here. Okay. Now you see the first letter D, which means it's a directory, and the current user has read, write, and execute permissions on it, whereas the group has read and execute, but no write permission. Others have read and execute, but no write permission to this training folder or directory. Okay, and you can see the timestamp. And by default, any directory that gets created, it gets a size of 4 KB. Okay, 4 KB is the minimum directory size. Okay, in Unix, 4096 bytes is 4 KB. Okay, now let me go into that file, into that directory. Unix is case sensitive, so capital T and small t are two different. Uh, Man, this is pretty slow. Okay. CD training. So again, when I do PWD, I get this. Okay. Now, if I want to create a file, okay, all I have to type is cat and get the file name, any file name. Okay. So I wrote file AB1. Okay. And the moment you press enter, it says such file doesn't exist. Okay. So what is the command to create a file? Anyone? In your lab exercise, it was there yesterday.
MKDIR, sir.
Mkdir is make directory, not file. How to create a file?
Yes.
Cat is to display. How to create? Okay, I'll show you. This is so slow, man. Yeah. Okay. So whenever a command is not supported in a particular bash shell, the bash will respond saying that this particular is not found. Okay. There is a editor called VI. Okay. It will allow you to edit a file just like how we use Notepad in our Windows. So in Unix, it's called VI. Okay. And if you don't want to open VI, because using the VI editor is a little tough, you can simply use this command called touch and press enter. Okay, see that command helped us to create this file. So now when I do ls minus al, okay, you see this file got created under this folder at so and so timestamp. Okay, and currently it is 0 bytes. Okay, which means it does not have any data. And you see there is no letter D in front here, which means that it is not a directory, it is a file. Similarly, now I can create as many files as I want. So slow. Are you guys facing the same slowness in Killer Coda when you guys are doing it? Uh, Okay. Okay. So touch command is used to do any kind of updation to that particular file. Okay. So it is not only used to create a file, it can also be used to change anything about a particular file. Okay. So you can change the date and time stamp. You can change the access time. Okay. You can do a lot of stuff with this touch command. Okay. So, okay. So if I create another command, another file like this, and I give ls, so I have these two files, and I can use the cat command, which is concatenate, to join or merge these two files also, something like this. Okay. Then what will happen is whatever is the content of file AB2 will get appended into this particular file called AB1. Okay. So that's how it works, like this. Okay. Any questions on this till now? Very simple. We have not even got into the complex side of things. Any questions? Okay. Run history. There are a lot of shortcuts. So we'll do these later. We'll get into some other commands. Date we have seen. WC is word count, as you see here. Head is the top content it will give. Tail will give the last content. Okay, these are all very simple commands. Okay, we going to get into some little complicated commands. Okay, now in uh, yes, this is something that we will try now. How to copy a file, how to copy contents, and how to move file, how to delete files. Okay, why this is important? Basically, when we are trying to do migrations, right? So then these commands will get useful. So if I create another directory, let's say within this directory, and I list this, I see that another directory called subtraining has been created. Now I want to copy these files into this directory. So what I'll do is I'll say cp, and I'll say from the current directory dot copy this file ab1 into whatever is the current directory slash give the name of the next directory where you want to copy it. Simple, it's done. So how do I verify whether it has happened or not? So I go into this particular directory called subtraining, and I can see this is the present working directory, and I go and say, so it got copied into here. Okay. And whatever are the permissions of the original file, the same permissions are applied to this copied file also. So now the file exists in the subfolder as well as it exists in the parent folder. Okay, so very simple. So the command is cp. Cp means copy. Copy, you give the source path and then the destination path. Okay, very simple. Now, if I want to delete something, and this is a very harmful command, so you have to be very careful once you are doing this. Okay, it is called rm. Okay, copy means sorry, remove is rm. When you do rm, okay, and you give a particular file name, it will simply delete that file. Unlike in Windows, it will not ask for any confirmation. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you're executing this. And now you see that file doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so you have to be very careful when using rm. Now you also have another command called as removing a directory. Okay, that command is called rmdir. Rmdir. Normal rm is to remove a file, whereas rmdir is to remove a directory. Okay. Now, how do we do this? So I am currently in this particular path. Okay. And I want to remove this part. So you cannot be in that path and remove it. Okay. So if I do rmdir, rmdir, and I give this path, the system is a little slow. Kindly bear with me. Okay. See, it says it cannot find this under this directory because it is not there. We are already in this directory. So what we have to do, we have to go back one level up. So the command for that is cd space dot dot. So cd dot dot will give us go access to the previous directory. Okay, dot dot means previous directory. Okay, and once you go to the previous directory, now we are in this path. See, it is showing us. We have come out and we have gone to the parent path or the parent directory. Now in this parent directory, when I enter this command rmdir sub prng, okay, then this command will work. See, gone. Now I do ls minus al. I can't see that folder anymore. See, it's gone, right? So this is the way to remove a directory. Okay. Now let me create a new scenario for you. Okay. Let us say that there are sub directories and sub folders. Okay. Not just one level, but multiple levels. So let me do that for you from here. So let us say I do mkdir make directory, and sitting in a parent directory, I can make a directory in the subdirectories also. So I'll show you here. Make directory sub1 underscore training. Okay, so this directory has been created. Okay, we see that. Now, from here, I want to create a directory inside sub1. Okay, so I can say mkdir dot is the current directory, which is this, what we see in the prompt slash training. Under that, sub1 underscore training is my subdirectory. And under that, I want to create a new directory called sub2 underscore training. And I press enter. Done. So wherever you are, okay, in Unix, unlike in Windows, right? In Windows, you have to be inside a directory to take certain action on inside that directory, right? And then only you can right click there, okay, and do all the stuff. But in Unix, that doesn't matter, okay, which directory you are currently in. Sitting in any directory or being in any directory, you can do actions in any other directory also, as long as you remember the complete path. Okay, as long as you remember the complete path, you can take actions in or do actions in other directories also. So that's why Unix is very powerful, okay, unlike Windows. So for example, now I want to create a file inside sub2 training, but I am currently in this parent folder called training. Okay, so you will be able to do that. So just keep your prompt. So I can do touch and I can say I want to create a file inside that sub2 training folder dot slash sub1 underscore training slash sub2 underscore training slash I want to create file new ab3. Okay, file new ab3. That's it. I press enter and it got created. Okay, no error. How do I verify? So I can say ls minus al and I can give the path of the directory. Okay, so show me the list of all the files under this subdirectory. Okay, so like that also we can give commands and it shows, see, under sub1 there is a folder called sub2. Under sub2 we created a new file called file new. But what is my present working directory? My present working directory is still slash training only. I have not gone there. Okay, or I'm not sitting inside that directory. See, I'm still in this directory only. But I can, if I know the path, if I remember the path, okay, then I can really execute any command from any other path also. So it is not a problem at all. We can do this now. Now, sitting in this path, I want to remove this file, what I created, file new ab3. Okay. How will we do that? The command to remove a file is rm, right? We know that. Now, if it's so slow, man. Come on. Another 9 minutes. rm and I say file new ab3. Since I'm not in that directory, it will say file not found. Okay, because it's not there here. And if I also want to do rmdir, remove directory, okay, and I want to remove that subdirectory completely, which is sub1 underscore training slash sub2 underscore training, right? Now I can't do this also because this folder sub2 underscore training is not empty. Okay, see, it gives us a message directory not empty. Okay, because the directory is not empty, you cannot delete that directory called sub2. Okay, so in Unix, this is one kind of a, you can say a little bit of a data protection feature. Okay, if a directory is not empty, you cannot delete that directory. Unlike in Windows, even if the directory has a file, a lot of files, you can right click on the directory and say delete. Okay, and that directory along with all its contents will automatically get deleted in Windows, right? But in Unix, that is not possible. Okay, you cannot delete a directory if it is not empty. Okay. All right. Now, what you can do is, let us say that I create multiple files under this sub1 directory, not sub2, but sub1. Just I'll change the path. Okay, so under sub1 training, I have created a new file called file test1 by using the touch command. Okay, and I've given the path, the file got created. Now I press up arrow on my keyboard, automatically whatever is the previous command should come. See, like that. So I can simply modify the previous command, make another file called file test2, and I created that one also now. Okay, so when I do an ls minus al in my current directory, I will get sub1 training and sub2 training, and of course the file ab1 and ab2. Okay, but I'm not able to see this file test1 and file test2. So what I have to do? I have to do ls minus al and list out what is there in that path, like this. So now I will be able to see the file test1, file test2, and the directory sub2. Okay, you understand the difference? Based on in which path you are typing the command, that content is going to be displayed. Okay, now from here I want to remove the files file test1 and 2 and the sub2 directory also. So what I can do is rm minus r is recursive delete. Okay, recursive delete means if it's mentioned here, see, remove a directory containing files. Okay, rm minus r. Okay, so I can say rm minus r dot slash sub1 underscore training. So as we can see now, sub1 underscore training has got this file test1, file test2, and a subfolder. Okay. So let us see what happens when we do this. So it says it has deleted. Okay. So now I do ls minus al in my directory called slash training. See, it's gone. Okay. So what did we learn here now? Even though sub2 was not empty, sub2 had a file in it, right? We put one file in it called file something, right? Uh, and we tried to remove it, right, in the previous attempt where we did rmdir and we gave the directory file name. But it did not allow us to remove because it already had content in it, right? It had a file in it. But you see that there is a workaround. What is the workaround? You can use rm minus r command that even if the subdirectories have got files in it, it will go ahead and remove them. So minus R there stands for recursive delete. That means it will go and see what and all are the contents in the sub folders. And even though they are not empty, it will go ahead and delete them. Okay. So rm minus R is a very powerful command. You should not run this command on any of the system files and system directories like slash bin, slash etc, slash opt. Okay, you should not do that, because if you do that, that entire system will get crashed. Okay, because the config files will be lost, the program files will be lost, all the binaries will be lost, all the libraries which are used to run the programs, those will be lost. Okay, so rm minus r is probably one of the most powerful commands in Unix. Okay, so use it very carefully, because it has a devastating effect if you are running that command unknowingly on a system folder which has got lot of configuration files and system files. Okay, so be extremely careful while you're doing this, right? Any questions on these commands, whatever we have seen now? We have seen how to copy a file. We have seen how to, remove a file. We have seen staying in one directory, how to do the copy and create files in subdirectories. Now we have not seen these two. Okay. Now I will show you these as well very quickly. So let us say I want to copy the contents of root slash etc slash password into another file. Hmm. I'm done here. Let me see if I can start one more. Oh, great. But the problem is it will not have our files that we created. Yeah, it's gone. Anyways, no issues. So when I do ls minus al slash etc slash password, okay, it shows me that this is the file and this is the it was created by root on so and so date and time. Now what I can do is I can create a new directory mkdir, and I can say new underscore training. Okay, and I go into this folder cd new underscore training. Sorry. Okay. So this is my present working directory. Now, what I want to do is I want to create a file called touch new password. Okay. And I want to concatenate the contents of slash etc slash password into this file called new password. Okay. Did you see this command? Whatever was the content of slash etc slash password, I simply copied it into this new file that I created called new password. Okay. Very simple. Now, if I do, oh boy, it's so frustrating. Okay. If I do slash new password and I press enter, okay, I don't see anything. Hmm. Okay, nothing got copied. I no. Hmm. Okay, now I give vi dot slash new password. So the second cat command emptied the file actually. So now when I go into this file, vi dot slash new password. Hey, what's happening? Why the cat command is not working? Let us try the other way around. Guys, are you following, or this is getting too boring or complicated? Let me know. Right? Mhm. Here the cat command is not working. Anyways, we'll figure out a way. Am I doing something wrong? Anyways, we'll see this. Yeah, we wanted to do this command, right? Copy a complete directory into a new directory. So what we can do is I can do cp minus r cp minus r. I can give the source folder slash etc, and I can give the destination path new underscore training. Okay, so once you do this, whatever is the content of the source, including files, subdirectories, and everything, it will get copied into the destination folder or path. Okay. Uh, See, everything got copied. Using a single command, you are able to copy all directories and subdirectories from one location to another. Okay, very simple. So you just say minus r, cp minus r. Okay. Now, what was the command to do a recursive delete? Because we don't want to keep this everywhere, so many copies. So remove minus r. So what we can do here, I can go back to the parent folder, dot dot, and when I do an ls minus l, ls minus al, I can see this folder. Now I say remove minus r space in the current full directory, which is dot slash, you give the name of the subdirectory like this. Gone. So now you do ls minus al, it's gone. See? So this is how you can copy files, you can move files from one place to another, you can create files, you can list files. Okay. So any questions till now on this? Some things are not working in this virtual shell. Okay. so that once we have our Proxmox installed, so we will be able to do that. So have all of you responded to this poll which I have put here? Team two. Okay, two people have Windows Pro and Enterprise. Okay. Okay. So how about the others? Have everybody answered this poll in the WhatsApp group? Then what we will do is, let me stop sharing. Okay. So what we will do is, we will divide the group then into a few members. Okay. So the members who have Windows Pro or Windows Enterprise, we will see using their laptops how to use Hyper-V virtualization. Okay. It's just enabling certain stuff. So, uh, can you put your names in the chat who have Windows Pro, or let me go to the poll itself, who have said that you have uh, so Bhanu has and Ravipati has. Okay, Ravipati Ramana. So Bhanu, what we will do is we will use your laptop to show everyone on Hyper-V. Okay. And for everybody else who do not have Pro or Enterprise, like Shriman, Gopi, and everybody else, Rajita, Anand, Prakash, Shrinu, Naveen, Bharat, Mahesh. Okay. All of you, we will do Proxmox. Okay. So what I'll do is tomorrow I'll give you the complete list of steps. Okay. On what to follow in order to enable Proxmox. So did all of you buy the USB drives, USB stick? Hello. Did you all buy the USB stick which I requested? Because without that, you'll not be able to convert your laptop into a lab. Okay, you guys have not. Fine. I request you to kindly purchase. Nowadays, though, you can just order it in Instamart and Zepto also, or Blinkit, Amazon. It'll come directly to your home. Anything higher than 64 GB, I recommend you to buy, so that we will load the Proxmox software onto that USB stick, and using that you can convert your laptop into a lab. Okay, where we'll be running more commands going forward. So any more any questions, any doubts on what we have learned so far? We are still basics. There are much more advanced things to be learned, and hence the lab is really required. So I request all of you to kindly just buy one USB pen drive, 64 GB or higher. Okay. For the lab exercises for today, people who have not completed lab exercise 1, I request you to kindly complete that in Killer Coda. And those who have already completed lab exercise 1, chapter 1, please start doing chapter 2, because that is what we have kind of learned today: how to copy file, how to give the path, okay, while copying the file. So all of that is there in chapter 2. So kindly practice those, what is there in the tutorial in chapter 2. So tomorrow we are going to learn one more command called grep. So grep will actually help you to find within content, okay, just like find in Windows. So that is what we will do. So please complete chapter 2 from the tutorial today. Any questions until now? No questions? Are you people following, or is it getting too boring, or you want a different method to be taken up, or you want to do practicals along with me instead of only me doing it? Please share your suggestions. No suggestions? Okay, so no issues. Uh, I hope you all okay. Rajita. Okay, fine. We'll meet again tomorrow and we'll take up the next set of Linux commands. So by tomorrow, we should be able to complete most of our, basic Linux commands. Okay. And then from Monday onwards, we'll try to do Windows. And I request that you get your USB drives by at least by Monday, so that from Monday onwards, we will start converting your laptops into labs by using Proxmox. So I'll be sharing the Proxmox, file with you. And during the session itself, I will tell you what needs to be done, and we will follow the steps and do it. Okay. And I would request that you have your phone as well as your laptop with you. You may want to log in, do the session using your phone, and do the stuff on your laptop. And you can join from two devices into this meeting, no problem. Only thing, in your phone, you may need to install Teams. Okay. So that's the only thing. Then, without losing connectivity to the session, you can keep doing stuff on your lab, because you may need to reboot your machine. Okay. So we can still be connected, but yet start doing the labs. So that is what we'll do on Monday. Okay. So until then, thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and we'll meet again tomorrow. Okay. Bye bye.